All right, guys. Hey, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, January 19th. Crazy. January's flying by. Um, just wanted to do a quick blast on. I was having a conversation with my Uncle Steve today. You may get to know him because he was arguably my first client, so to speak. He's done great things. He's losing weight, some notches off his belt, feeling better. And he let his foot off the gas over Christmas a little bit, but he's back on track apparently, and he's doing some stuff. But anyway, he's a skier, and he kind of tweaked his knee a little bit. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about the movement side of things. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm just a normal guy, and I've been asking questions and making observations. And this is something that sort of that came to my attention today, and why I'm doing the knees over toes, the Ben Patrick knees over toes protocol, knee ability zero. And I slipped and fell over the holidays, tweaked my knee a bit, and my knee is almost, I would say probably 90% in like less than a month. I thought I was going to be out, but I think my training up to this has led me to be able to heal a little better. I'm sure my nutrition has something to do with it as well. But just to put some things in perspective, and this is stuff that they don't teach you, and this is stuff that you can't really learn, or it's kind of like we're just going to weigh out some things here. Quite often, when you're injuring yourself, it's usually something that you take for granted. Bending over to pick up something, reaching up to grab something, stepping off a curb, stepping on a branch, or tripping. And these are things that happen to us all, and we can't prepare for them. So I have this thought that why we move and why we train and why we do exercise. It's not only good for your muscles and your cardiovascular endurance and your vitality, but it's also to do with stabilizing and nervous system function and reflexes. And I'm under the impression, now hear me out here, which is this is a lot of just kind of looking at what happens and trying to make sense of it. And I think the older you get, the more you got to move. We've all heard the term use it or lose it. And it's more than that. I mean, if you're developing, if you're sarcopenic or if you're suffering from a mild progressive osteoporosis, yes, you have to look at your nutrition and your diet. But I believe that there is the exercise. Now, exercise is tough. Like, there's lots of different ways to do things. But I believe one of the most important reasons to get in some movement is to prepare yourself for these unforeseen tweaks, falls, trips, and compromising positions that you can't practice. When you're bending over, stretching your hamstrings and your back, you're preparing yourself for that inevitable time when you drop a pen and you reach over and all of a sudden your back seizes up. Well, I believe there's a combination of a lot of things, and I think preparing yourself for those events, and especially as you get older, is important. And I think we can mitigate some damage by regular, constant moving. And here's the thing, like when we're doing any kind of sport, we have a warm up. Whether you go to the gym, you do a warm up set, or you warm up. But here's something to throw at you, is that fact that life happens, and when you wake up and get out of bed, from the time you get out of bed, you don't warm up. You're cold. So I believe building resilience through normal movements could be the difference between that long-term disability and just a short-term a little short-term pain. So I'm gonna be a big advocate today for yoga, stretching, sprinting, walking, moving, standing up and sitting down, and these are things that you have to think about now at any age, because quite often injury is the thing that sets us back to the point where we can't recover from it. And it's not just the injury, it starts down that cycle of, you can't move, so you got to kind of your diet sacrifices. You can't move, so your life sort of sacrifices. Then, it's all that loop that you want to stay out of. And I think if you just think about your natural movement, standing up, sitting down, reaching up, reaching down, bending over, and imagine when you're walking, and if you step off a curb or you trip on a curb, your ability to react and stabilize yourself could be the difference maker in being long-term injured or just a quick, maybe a couple days of rehab. So I want you to think about that. It's all part of that whole master, body, mind, and soul. Getting your body prepared for the unexpected doesn't have to be painful and arduous and long-term. It just has to be, simple, everyday stuff. Lifting your arms up, bending over, stretching out your legs, little things like that. And then, obviously getting into some sprinting, some reactive stuff, like right now. Because, we're all not preparing for the championships, and we're not warming up to do a long endurance battle or a marathon. You got to think about life. When you step out of, when you wake up from sleep in the morning and then get on with your day, things will happen that you have to react to. And that's all I'm saying. Just a quick little, food for thought, right? Try and get some movement in. And all movement is good. You don't have to push it to the nth degree. Just have to start moving, because you know what? As you get older, and this comes from, teenagers to 20-year-olds, 30, 40, 50, 60s, you have to move, or else we become stagnant. And that's probably the worst. We've all heard of bed sores, and it gets harder and harder the less active you are. So start breathing. Start some kind of physical thing. It doesn't have to be much. Start walking. It all starts with the first step. It doesn't have to be a marathon. Anyway, I just wanted to put that into some perspective, and then choose your own path. Anything is better than nothing, and that's what I'm here to do. My training is evolving every day. There's no gym. I can't lift heavy weights, so I've had to readjust and just kind of make do with what I got. And I believe movement is key, and you should be moving. And I just wanted to throw that out there, because you know what, every day you're getting older, and every day you might be starting to slow down, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can get faster, you can get stronger, you can get more resilient, build your reflexes, and that's it. All right, guys, hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Stay strong.